from the News Channel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper. This is Out and About Today, sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and welcome to Out and About Today. On the show tonight, Brent Meredith revisits last year's bill that allows therapists to reject LGBT clients to see where we are today. Then Pam talks to a couple featured in the Brooks Fund's Oral History Project who have been together for 25 years and gets their take on the walk to equality. But first, we're talking hot topics on Buzz About, and joining me, my co-hosts, Pam and Brent. Hi, guys.
Hello, hi, Chuck.
Hello. Hey.
Okay, lots to talk about, so we're just going to dive right into it. These are a couple of things that I've just noticed, either from just watching television, observing things, and where we stand on certain issues. First one. The show Grace and Frankie. Do you guys watch it?
Yeah.
I do, yes.
Do you like the show?
I do.
I love it now in season 3. Season 1 I thought was a little bit contrived or something.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. It seemed a little forced. The storyline was like, really?
But it would have to be, I guess. They have a lot to set up.
Yeah,
I get it. But I love season 3. I love it.
And the actors and actresses in it were really what drew me to it initially. Anyway, I love all of them. You know.
Well, interesting. Let's take a look at Frankie and Grace and Frankie, and they're going to talk about an issue on the show after this. So take a look right now.
Look at you two. Beautiful new home.
How do your kids feel about the house?
It's great.
It's fantastic.
Really?
It's really open. The feng shui is
All I want is to be in this house dancing with you.
Sometimes it's really hard to get Frankie to focus on one thing. So here's the plan. I'll talk first, and I'll keep talking, and you don't talk.
I think you just don't like it when you don't get your way.
So problems in vibrator land?
Well, your mom is a big, fat, skinny liar.
Okay, so the premise on Grace and Frankie, they're both divorced from their husbands. The husbands are now together. They knew this. The interesting thing to me, and I've seen this happen in real life, a lot of times on the show, and I love the show too, love it. But when Grace and Frankie are describing their husbands, Robert and Saul, they talk about how bad they are, how they cheated on them, how they ruined their lives at certain points. And I look at it and I think it's so interesting because to me, the husbands, Robert and Saul, were doing in those days especially what a lot of men did. They just tried to do what they thought society was asking of them, demanding of them. So were they, you know, really as bad a people as they make often them out to be when they're talking about them? So kind of what are your feelings on that?
Gosh, it's so complicated, right? Because, you know, and the show makes it so extreme because all of them are still together. In real life, right, you might have somebody you go to, like I think of Jim and Gary, who we all know in the community, who were married. Their lives weren't intertwined. They're going on chapter 2 and they don't have to relive as much. You know, it's a little close for comfort there, right?
Right, right.
But I have to like connect with the female characters in that they're living this life, and you know, now we know when you watch the series they weren't happy. Maybe there should have been signs, right? All that. They're not in this big romantic, but still they were lied, cheated for decades, not just, right? It's hard.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
did they stay together because they thought that's what society was asking them to do?
I think maybe to some extent they did, but there's been a couple of scenes where I've also felt like, because I mean, you'll remember that Frankie's husband came back and they had a little interlude even after the fact. So I think there was still a genuine love there and a connection, but you know, looking at it from the wife's perspective, I mean, they didn't make a change. They are who they are, and I can see how they would feel like, well, my life has been kind of wasted because this is the life that I saw for myself, and meanwhile, behind the scenes, they've been building this other life. So I can see where they would feel betrayed.
And the life is so connected. And I do have to make a little note that Jim and Gary were not in a relationship. Like, they just had marriages, and then later in life came out.
Yeah,
But it does open up like series and layers of questions, right, for the family.
And they weren't business partners. And like, I mean, like again, the whole pretense is a little contrived to get to where we are with the series. But yeah, I mean, that's a completely different story. They had lives that not ended, but they had, you know, that changed.
Yeah,
We can talk about this for
Sorry, I know.
We're gonna have to move because we got another topic to talk about. We'll revisit this though in a couple of months if that's good with you guys. All right, there's also a concert coming up. Ty Herndon's Love and Acceptance concert. Very excited about it. Great lineup. Let's first take a look at Ty Herndon in action. Here's Ty.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. Yeah, it's the climb.
All right, he really is one of the great voices in country music, or music. He's just terrific, terrific talent. So his concert coming up is the Concert for Love and Acceptance. It's coming up on June 8th. It's going to be at the Wild Horse Saloon right here in Nashville, and you can see it right there. And Cody Allen, who, by the way, is the host of it, we have a special edition of Out and About Today coming up with Cody Allen next week. So be sure and mark that on your calendars, a full one-on-one with Cody Allen. So mark that next week. All right, so, but Ty's concert, Love and Acceptance. All right. Interesting to me. A great lineup. I love this lineup. So I'm just going to read out. We've got Billy Gilman, Cree Harrison from American Idol, Runaway June, Lori Morgan, Michael Ray, Thompson Square, and I think Trent Harmon also just signed on, Mickey Guyton. Some great names.
Yeah.
The thing that's missing from the lineup, there are no current top of the chart country musicians in this. How does that sit with you?
Well, not well.
Okay.
Well, and the question is it because of who it's benefiting that's too big? I'm asking. Or is it because he's gay? Right? Or is it both? I mean, it's just a big...
Or is it maybe what we've said before, which is that, you know, they're at a point where they're not ready to be, or they don't feel like they have enough years behind them to be able to be as vocal as maybe they'd like to be, if that's maybe part of it. I don't know.
Like a Reba McEntire or...
Well, I mean, Reba's always kind of been supportive, but I mean...
Somebody like that, somebody on that...
I follow you,
yeah,
I follow you.
that is saying, I'm going to make an appearance,
Right.
I'm going to...
They've been supportive, but they're not there.
They're not there. Well, I mean, I wonder if it's just a simple ask situation, or...
No, that's not it.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
Well, and that's the week of the CMT Fest, right?
the
So
CMA
everybody,
Fest,
CMA Fest. So everybody's in town. Are we
We're
out of time? That's on bull.
We'll talk about this a little bit more, but do go to the concert, Love and Acceptance, June 8th. Ty Herndon is in charge of that one. All right, we are going to take a break, but when we come back, Brent looks at Tennessee's controversial Counselor's Bill 1 year later. You're watching Out and About Today.